people to do business with.
Do you feel it's necessary that, they've got all of these frills ready and good to go before the business starts?
Every individual has to deal with the money factor based on their own merits. I was okay in terms of money, so I could take a few gambles. Not everybody's in that privileged position to do that. I think if you're going to use money as your sole motivator, you could be hugely disappointed because it may not come in at all. It may not come in at the speed or the sum that you want it to come in at. Nobody in my circle expect something for nothing. They're all grafters in their own way. So I think if you're going to be focused on money, and obviously we need to live and to pay our rent and our mortgage, whatever, and to eat, it's important. But I think it's about the individual merit. And I think if you can put money slightly lower down on the agenda when you're first starting, you may give yourself a little bit more longevity. Because if the money doesn't come in, do you stop? Do you put it on pause? No, I was never going to do that. Even with the football blacklists, even though it looks sexy and it looks fine and it's got TV coverage, it doesn't bring in, for me on Leon, money that we can say, oh, this is going to be the only thing that we do. No way. Maybe in time, maybe not for us, maybe for others. It may pay salaries, etc., etc. So I'm not dictating my money.
Money should go a lot lower down the list. I do believe that there are a lot of people that want to start something great, but immediately following the idea comes the obstacle before they've even started. But the football blacklist is very sexy. Like you said, I've been there. It was amazing. I can't wait to go back again. And there were so many, celebrities there, footballers, as well as those behind the scenes, but they're the ones that keep the machine oiled. How do you stay grounded when you're rubbing shoulders with people like Raheem Sterling?
My family, that core group, they wouldn't allow me to get a big head. It's not me, because rubbing shoulders with celebrities, one, I've done it for a long time now, based on my profession and what I do. And I must confess, early on, it was a little bit like stargazing. Ooh. So like any job or profession or anything that you do on a regular basis, you get used to it, What I found with a lot of celebrities, when I interviewed them, they were sometimes more nervous than I was.
Okay.
How do I stay grounded? I stay grounded by when I'm not working, I'm with that core group of people that I was telling you about. And we have a good time, we chat about stuff. A lot of the time, we'll talk about some of the things that I do. A lot of the times I don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about it, that's fine. And I think I stay grounded because I realize that the footballers, the cricketers, the golfers, whatever, the tennis players, human beings just like me.
Exactly.
If rubbing shoulders with them guaranteed me £1 million per annum, or that I would live forever, for example, maybe then they would be very important to me.
Yeah.
Human beings like everybody else.
So what are some of your business morals?
Business morals, that sounds really great, doesn't it?
It does sound good.
I think honesty is important. I think that honesty has to be with yourself first and foremost. Because if you have it with yourself, I think then you can share it with Leon and the wider group that helped put it on.
Yeah.
It might not be a moral, but I think you've always got to strive to do better. So I know, and I'm giving you a bit of an exclusive on this, as I understand it, due to the pandemic, obviously, there will be no football blacklist in 2020.
Right.
But I can also tell you, get ready for a superb blacklist in 2021. Also, it sounds really cheesy, but giving the best that you have every day. When you're involved in a public service industry like I am, people have an expectancy. And if there's an expectancy, I think then you should try and put yourself in a position where you can deliver most of that time.
Following that, what characteristics do you feel entrepreneurs must nurture in order to be successful?
I think you have to learn to take advice, because your way isn't always the right way.
Yeah.
it's interesting. Myself and Leon weren't, for example, the greatest of friends before the football blacklist. So it shows that you can also work with people that are not necessarily immediately in your circle, but have the same principles as you. And Leon has the same principles as me, and vice versa. Be open-minded, definitely, because some of the people that you think you can do business with, you can't.
Yeah.
And you also have to be careful doing business with friends.
Yes.
Yeah, the people that maybe you might rave with or party with, maybe, and it's for the individuals to decide, maybe those are not the people who you rave and party with, drink with, whatever, to do business with.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm very mindful of that. I think if the business survives, I think you have to look at legacy. So then you have to then take the eyes off yourself and say, can this be left for future generations? Because that's what it's all about. And I think in the current climate, even more so, what do we have? So I think those are some of the things that I would like to share in that regard.
So I want to hear about some of your career highlights. You've been giving us so much business advice. And I know you said earlier that you don't really talk about yourself, but Rodney, I'm going to make you talk about yourself. I want to hear the career highlights from the beginning to now. Tell us, spill the tea.
Highlights, we'll be on this Zoom call. One that stands out clearly is obviously being able to report as a journalist at London 2012.
Yeah.
As I said, I'm from the East End of London, literally born up the road from where the Olympic Stadium is now. So to be able to report on the greatest show on earth, the Olympics, that's a massive highlight. Being able to interview some of the biggest names in sport, whether that be a Usain Bolt, whether that be a Serena Williams, whether that be a Lennox Lewis, whether that be a Thierry Henry, you get my gist. It's that person. Amongst those highlights is also interviewing people that don't have that profile, that don't have that money, who are doing tremendous work at grassroots level, because there is not an awful lot of difference between the elite athlete that I've talked about and those at grassroots. Maybe the difference is money, which then gives you profile. But there are so many people at grassroots level going unheralded, no one would recognize them, but they have motivated me beyond belief because of their own tenacity. So highlights are obviously talking and interviewing people, traveling the world in the name of sport, World Cups in Germany, cricket in the Caribbean. The job has been a privilege. Making my family proud, that's been a highlight. The fact that they can pick up a paper or look online and there's their boy, right in the midst of it. There's a vast majority of people who, if they could travel the world, the United Kingdom, get into football for free and sit ringside at the biggest fights, they'd want to do it as well. So obviously with the pandemic, we lost sport for 3 months. That was odd, but sport is now coming back online. So I feel a little bit more rejuvenated.
Back into
it. It just confirmed it was a privilege to cover sport at the level that I've covered it.
What is next for Rodney?
What can we expect? Something exciting, because I think I live in a world that's been truly exciting. I mean, listen, if I had to go through this again, I would go through it again, no problem. It's been that fantastic. I've written a few books already. I think I want to write a few more. I think I want to cherry pick a little bit more what I do in terms of professional sport and amateur sport in terms of what I cover. So maybe slow down a little in one area, but pick up on the other. And the other would be more books. I expect to travel a little bit more and write those books on sunny beaches or anywhere that's hot.
That sounds good. Sounds like a dream to me. I look forward to reading those books. As you know, this is Successfully Black. So I want to know what the term Successfully Black means to you.
The term Successfully Black has nothing, in my opinion, to do with money. Success is the ability to get somewhere close or totally close to what you really want to do with your life. So your dream and your reality get somewhere close. That is success for me. If money and all those trappings becomes a byproduct of that, fantastic. You can be successful without anybody else knowing about it, by the way.
Yes.
It doesn't have to come out of your house necessarily.
Yeah.
I do what I do, and it gets me a lot of profile. So, have I been successful? What does it mean to me? I just think it means getting your dreams and your goals and the reality of those goals and dreams somewhere close to each other.
Fantastic. You've hit the nail on the head. And I therefore want to say that you, for us, are successfully Black, Rodney. And I'm so happy that you've come on the platform to share your insights, your journey, and your story. So thank you once again. And
Thank you for
hopefully
inviting
we'll,
me.
no problem at all. And well, I look forward to having you back on here. We'll have
Yeah.
to catch up with you in 2021 perhaps or after. So thank you.